Hello, I'm David Chaston with 90 at 9, brought to you by interest.co.nz. This is where we get everything you need to know in 90 seconds at 9 o'clock. With news markets are lower today, reacting to some grim economic assessments. The US Fed has released its June meeting decisions and forecasts. They left rates unchanged and said they have no plans to change them anytime soon, not even until 2021. But their stimulus energy will continue unabated. But they also said the recovery will be slow and painful. In their first economic projections this year, they forecast their jobless rate to end 2020 at 9.3% and remain high for years, and only coming down to 5.5% in 2022 in an optimistic guess. Output is expected to be 6.5% lower in 2020 than 2019. That is a grim prospect for the world's largest economy and for the rest of us. The US government's budget deficit rose 92% in May from a year earlier to almost $400 billion in the month. Tax revenues plummeted by a quarter and spending surged by 30%. In the 12 months to May, the US fiscal deficit blew out to over $2 trillion, its highest ever and topping 10% of their total economic activity. And more debt is on the way. Their Treasury Secretary said in congressional testimony today that more corporate aid will be needed. And the US isn't the hardest hit large economy. The OECD sees a grim and uncertain immediate future for the global economy, with a second hit coming at the end of 2020. In their words, a collapse followed by a slow recovery. We are in the deepest peacetime recession in more than a century. In Australia, mortgage lending to both investors and owner-occupiers has fallen sharply in both March and April, and a 5-year low. And economists say it's likely to fall even further in coming months before it recovers. And new bank lending growth in China fell more than expected in May from the previous month, retreating 13% in a month. Only vast new bond stimulus money saw their overall debt levels rise. And the gold price is marginally higher today. It's rising again by another $3 to $1,718 an ounce. Oil prices are higher again today as well. They're up more than $1 to just on $39.50 a barrel in the US, and the Brent benchmark is just on $41.50 a barrel. And the Kiwi dollar is a little firmer at just on 65.5 US cents. On the cross rates, we're marginally softer to 93.4 Australian cents, but against the euro, we're firmish at 57.7 euro cents. That means our trade weighted index has hardly changed at 69.9. I'm David Chaston. That was 90 at 9, brought to you by interest.co.nz.